everyone. Welcome back to the Generation Y Conservative second hour here. I'm glad that you're tuning in for me tonight. Listen, a couple things. If you caught the show last week, I would actually encourage you to go back and head over to my page and actually catch the full video on either the Generation Y Conservative fan page on Facebook or the Mojo page, because apparently there was a programming error and the second hour didn't air. We had a lot of really good things going on there, so I would actually encourage you to go back and watch or listen to that. Also, with that being said, if you're listening on Mojo right now, I would actually encourage you to actually try and find that video, because along with the video, you can actually see the studio, which I'm not in today. I'm actually in my studio away from home at the apartment I stay at during the week. So certainly check us out on social media. Just search for the Generation Y Conservative on Facebook. You can like and follow along there to see what the types of articles that we're interested in and get our commentary on them. Also, if you're interested, you can follow along on Twitter at Gen Y Conservative without the E on the end. And most importantly, I would encourage you to head over to the YouTube channel for the Generation Y Conservative. It's /Gen Y Conservative after youtube.com. Hit subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and you'll be able to see our movie reviews, the show itself, as well as things like the Relic Hunter firearms video that we're going to be showing in a couple minutes here. Listen, this half hour is brought to you by Tar River Arms. Now, this is actually kind of cool. Tar River Arms is throwing a promotion this April, and it's actually really neat. Good firearm, 6 Hour. The P320 purchase comes with free shipping and a $25 gift card by using the promo code MOJO50P320. Pretty easy at checkout. Plus, Sig Sauer themselves is actually offering Tar River Arms guns customers 2 great offers for the P320 as well. You can actually see that by going to sigsauer.com /promotion/sig-days. And along with that, what's happening is actually if you buy a 6 Hour P320, you'll receive a $50 promotional code via email towards the SIG store. So you can get some pretty cool products to go along with your gun there. Also, if you buy a P320 M17, you'll receive 2 free 21-round magazines, which are now legal again in California. Amen to that. The P320 comes in all shapes and sizes, and you can see some examples of those on the Tar River's website. All you have to do is head to www.tarriverarms.com. To get the free shipping, again, all you have to do is type in at checkout Mojo50P320. Tar River Arms Guns is America's virtual gun store. They provide great guns at great prices and great service. So head over there to check them out now. Also, it appears we have a new advertiser to the station, and that is Gunbox. So, listen, this is actually kind of cool. We have to, as Second Amendment lovers and supporters, do our best to keep our guns safe and out of the hands of people that shouldn't be handling them, whether that's your children, whether that's people not of the right mind, people on medication, sometimes certain types of medications, people with psychosis, people that would break into your home and try to steal them. You need to make sure that these things are locked up and safe so that you are never the victim of being accused of a crime with the firearm that is yours, but you didn't end up using. And that's where Gunbox actually gets involved. So Gunbox has 2 different boxes out right now. The Gunbox 2.0, which is an ultimate, quick, and accessible handgun safe, which is actually ideal for securing your firearm when you're not carrying it on yourself. The technology and innovative safety features provide peace of mind while storing your handgun on a nightstand, desk, countertop, or anywhere you might need fast access. With the simple swipe of a finger, guys, the press of a custom key code, or the wave of an RFID card or fob, the gun box opens in seconds. They have a modern design and sleek lines. It actually looks pretty cool. It looks like looks kind of futuristic, if you ask me. It's a great addition to any space, and it's actually comes in it fits most size handguns with room to spare for extra magazines, a blade, or other items that you may carry for protection. It was designed to be your go-to gun safe and is absolutely the best alternative for fast and reliable handgun storage. Now that's the Gunbox 2.0. There's another one called the Gunbox Echo. Now, what if you're on the road? What if you're traveling? What if you need a firearm with you to protect you and your family when you're out on the road? Well, the Gunbox Echo is the ideal travel-size gun safe, perfect for those on the go, and has the latest in technologies to secure your firearm while giving you quick access. Again, this goes along with the other one. Swipe of a finger, custom key code, or wave of a key card or fob. The Echo unlocks in seconds, and it was engineered to be compact but still large enough to fit most size handguns. So you have to check with them to make sure that your handgun would actually fit. The internal audible alarm will sound if the unit is moved, bumped, or tampered with, giving you the peace of mind that your firearm is safe and secure. How about this? For added security and safety, attach the Echo to your bed frame, desk, or inside a vehicle with a secure tether cable. That's pretty cool. The Echo is TSA approved and easily fits in your checked baggage. Its portable design makes transporting your firearm simple to and from home, the office, the shooting range, or wherever you might need it, and also fits perfectly in any car, truck, RV, or boat. So, again, if you're interested in this, go to thegunbox.com and check out the Gunbox 2.0 and the Echo. I guarantee you're not going to be disappointed with it, that's for sure. So this half hour, we actually have a couple things that we're going to be talking about in regards to firearms. And this is actually kind of cool. So this headline I just saw this week here. It's by concealednation.org. And the headline says, Son saves family of 6, takes out armed home invader with headshot while sisters hide in the closet. Now, I looked all over this article to see how old the son was that actually fired the firearm, but this was down in Houston, Texas, and it says a planned attack on a family was thwarted by the son who was returning home with his mother. Upon arrival, chaos was happening inside the home as 3 armed intruders ambushed the father as he arrived home from work and forced him inside. 2 sisters inside hid in a bedroom closet while the suspects ransacked the property. These girls were not young girls either. One was a 21-year-old and one was a 15-year-old, and they managed to hit a panic alarm as the home invasion continued. Eventually, the suspects found the girls while searching the home. One of the suspects who was armed was shot in the head, okay? So what happened was, it says shortly after this all began, the son arrived home with his mother and another sibling in the vehicle. Once he realized that something was wrong, he grabbed his gun and went in after the armed suspects in an attempt to stop them from terrorizing his family. He shot the one in the head, and the other 2 suspects jumped on the hood of the mother's car while she and another child were still inside. The mom drove away and located a police officer at a nearby Whataburger. The 2 remaining suspects stole the father's vehicle and fled the scene. The homeowner's stolen vehicle was a silver Toyota Sienna minivan with Texas license plates DGL 3948. And that's kind of important because as of this article, they still haven't found those 2 suspects. But as they pointed out in here, they're probably going to end their criminal spree going forward once they saw that their one friend was shot in the head by a homeowner. And, you know, good for them. Good for that family. Good for the family for teaching responsible safety when it comes to firearms and how to control yourself. You don't fire off a shot and hit someone in the head that easily, trust me. And, you know, I was actually trained by an NRA certified instructor, and Mo, she's at Relic Hunter Firing Line, and it was actually pretty cool. Awesome little woman who just carries cannons with her. It's amazing. But one of the things that she pointed out is, listen, in a concealed carry situation where someone is attacking you, you should not pull out your gun unless you are ready to fire it. And that has really stuck with me for quite a while, is that you don't want to take out a gun to threaten someone or wave it around just to let them know that you have it, because the distance at which your average human being can cover over the span of 6 to 20 feet is a matter of seconds when they're running at you to try and grab a gun from your hand. So what most people don't realize is when you're in a personal confrontation with someone like that, they're typically very up close to you, and if you take out something just to warn them, they could easily just sprint at you, grab the gun, turn it on you, and use it against yourself. So if you're going to carry, you should be prepared to use it in an emergency and fire as soon as it's pulled out. So you better be in a situation where it should be fired. That being said, that's one of the reasons why concealed carry people like myself are always so responsible with our guns, and we're so responsible at keeping ourselves out of dangerous situations, because we know that we have a responsibility on our back by getting the license, by going through a training and stuff, that if we are put into that type of situation, we need to know that we're not going to get in trouble with the law if we do what's right in protecting ourselves. And that's why when you look around the country, there's a lot of really BS laws out there, especially down in Florida with the well, there's a stand your ground law, right? But there's a couple states around the country where you have to, in a home invasion situation, retreat to the furthest corner of your house before being allowed to shoot upon someone that's coming in and threatening you and your property or your family. At that point, there's so many things that could go wrong. It's unbelievable. It just doesn't make any sense. I personally find that pretty fascinating, that number one, that this son was able to save his family, because this story could have gone very differently. Instead of the criminal who broke into the home getting shot in the head, these criminals could have gone in and killed the whole family. Could have killed the son, his sibling, and the mother when they got home too. It didn't end up that way, because most times, a good person with a gun can stop bad people with guns. And apparently at least two of the suspects had guns, but they didn't end up being fired at all. Another point about that, there are 400 million firearms in the United States, last counted, right? Which is pretty insane. I think that's enough for at least like two for every person or something in the United States. I forget, but it's insane the amount of firearms that there are. That being said, the majority of those firearms are actually owned by legal gun owners. Okay, if there was a problem with firearm related deaths in association with legal owners and responsible gun owners, you would know about it. Okay, you would know, because with over 400 million guns in the United States owned by legal gun owners that follow by the rules so that they don't end up in prison, that they know the responsibility that's carried with that. They know that they have to keep them safe. They have to keep them secure, as we talked about with Gunbox and Tar River Arms and everything at the beginning of this half hour. It's a responsibility that weighs heavily on those of us that have concealed carry permits. I should have started off the program apologizing. I have allergies that are kicking in, and they're really kicking my butt this year. So if my voice is a little off and kind of low key, I'm really having trouble breathing right now. So anyway, I want to move a little bit along here. So what I'm going to show you now is actually one of the collaborations that we have with a local firearm dealership. Now, what's really cool about this is the owner, Gerard, and I are friends. I've known Gerard for a little while now. We got to know each other before I found out that he owned the Relic Hunter store, the firing line, and he has been going through exponential growth with his store, and I've been along for the journey. Really interesting. Coming up in June, I'll announce more as the date gets closer, but if you happen to live in Pennsylvania, there's going to be a Second Amendment rally at the store. Last year, I was one of the main speakers. I was also the MC for the event, and we got rained out, but a lot of people did show up, including Marty Nostein and some other local representatives. We had a really good crowd of people show up. They ran some really great promotions within the store. But this year I was asked to speak again. I don't know if I'm going to be emceeing the event, but yeah, trust me, you're not going to want to miss this, because if we got rained out and still had a couple hundred people show up, if it's a nice day in June, we're going to have a ton of people showing up, hopefully thousands of people showing up. So we're really looking forward to that. That being said, the gun that we're going to be looking at tonight is the Glock 19X, which is really cool. We're going to have Gerard go into some of the details of it. You're going to actually get a chance to see us shooting it in the firing range. And then also stay tuned after that when they go into with Mo, who is the person that was NRA certified that trained me. You're actually going to get a chance to see her talk about all the different types of courses and lessons that they offer at the range, which if you're a legal, law-abiding gun owner, these are the types of things that you should be attending anyway to keep yourself abreast of the current gun laws and also make sure that you know how to fire your firearm. So let's take a look at the Glock 19X presented by Relic Hunter Firing Line and the Generation Y Conservative.
Gerard here from Relic Hunter Firing Line. Today we're going to look at the Glock 19X, which was the military pistol that never was. Glock entered the military competition for a new firearm that Sig Sauer actually got the contract for later. Glock's entry was the 19X. The 19X has a Glock 19 slide and barrel with a Glock 17 frame, so that they had a longer magazine extended like the 17 does. It's a 9mm pistol and comes with a anti-extreme environment coating and night sights. And it is modeled in flat dark earth.
All right, Gerard, what do we got today?
So today we're going to shoot the Glock 19X, the military pistol that never was, Chris.
So what do people really like about this? Why is this a popular one?
Well, Glock itself is extremely popular. The fact that they submitted this gun to the Army trials for the new weapon really makes it popular with people. It has the 19 slide and the 17 frame. So it's got extended 21 round magazines. And it's got night sights, great sights on it. Let's give it a shot.
When did this lost out to SIG?
That is correct.
Okay, and when was that?
So that's a good question. It was around 2 years ago, I believe.
Okay, all right, let's see what you got.
All right. Nice. Awesome.
See what we got. This little guy right here?
Yeah.
I wouldn't worry about that little guy right there.
Yeah.
It's a Super Troopers reference.
Other than a cheek graze,
we did
it.
Yeah, we didn't go off at all. I really like the accuracy of it.
Yeah.
I had to compensate a little bit because I was a little high with these two.
Yes.
But as soon as I adjusted just slightly, I started hitting it right here.
That's awesome. Glock 19X.
Okay, I hope you enjoyed that. We actually have a couple more gun related topics that we could talk about before we head into the next commercial break here. Head over to the Czech government, and here's according to independent.co.uk. It says the Czech government tells its citizens how to fight terrorists. Shoot them yourselves. A freaking man. It says a couple months ago, Czech President Milos Zeman made an unusual request. He urged citizens to arm themselves against a possible, quote, super holocaust carried out by Muslim terrorists. Says, never mind that there are fewer than 4,000 Muslim in this country of 10 million people, gun purchases spiked. One shop owner in East Bohemia, a region in the northern center of the Czech Republic, told a local paper that people were scared of a wave of Islamists. Better to be prepared, if you ask me. So that's pretty interesting. They're actually being told, hey, listen, some crazy crap is going down, and maybe the best way to fight terrorism is to fight it yourself. And the only way to do that is to have the necessary tools. And guess what the necessary tool is? A gun. All right. All right. If you've also been paying attention, London has been in the news too, because it has now surpassed the murder rate of New York City. But the crazy thing is, in London, they have a gun ban. So why is that? Well, they're having a lot of knife attacks, and the government there has actually proposed putting a ban on knives as well. It's almost like if you keep on putting restrictions on things that are used as weapons, that people will still find ways to use other things as weapons to do what they wanted to do in the first place, which is kill people. And when you take away those items that could be potentially used to also defend yourself, that those people are left defenseless, and the murder rate goes even more sky high. And that's what we see all the time. When people talk about the murder rate in Australia and London decreasing in regards to gun deaths after a gun ban takes place, well, of course, that information is absolutely true. When you ban guns in a country, the gun ratio of deaths goes down. But what they fail to recognize, or they fail to inform people on, is that the actual homicide in most of these cases rate goes up, because now people are left defenseless and other means are used. They're just comparing gun deaths to the gun ban. They're not representing all murder ratios to the gun ban, okay? So always that's a good lesson. Always pay attention to what's actually being said, not what they're trying to say to you. Other article here says, according to Penn Live, so it's a Pennsylvania website, bill to take guns out of the hands of those at risk of causing harm draws bipartisan support. And this is Tom Wolf of our Pennsylvania there. 9 Pennsylvanians on average die from gun-related suicide every day, and on February 2nd, 2003, that's how Representative Jennifer O'Mara lost her father. That's how it starts off with a story, right? So it says, we're tired of people dying to gun violence in the state, and we know that ERPO is common sense and will help save lives. What is ERPO? Well, it says if Pennsylvania had an extreme risk protection order law that allows the court to order the temporary removal of firearms from individuals who pose a risk of harming themselves or others. Now, this is a sensitive topic, and I have 2 minutes to talk about it before the next commercial break. But here's what I want you to realize. This is in regards to, most times, mental illness, okay? And why the Second Amendment is so important, and why everyone should have access to the Second Amendment unless you are a convicted felon. Imagine this. Imagine if you go through a divorce, right? And you are depressed that you're going through the divorce. You feel like it wasn't your fault. You just wanted to stay together. You go and see a shrink about it. And you try to get better. You try to feel better after a situation like that. Well, the government can then, under these types of laws, see that you are being treated for depression and say, whoa, this guy has a past of depression. We can't allow them to have a firearm. And that's just the beginning, okay? They're going to go after you for anything and everything. Eventually, they're going to find ways to tie gun violence into migraines. If you ever get migraine medication, what this actually ends up doing is having a reverse effect on medication that people actually need. What you'll actually find is that when things like this are proposed, people that need medication but are gun owners end up feeling that their constitutional right outweighs their medical condition and will forego actually going for those medications, knowing that the government will then take away their property and their means of self-protection. So they don't work, they're bad news, and you can see what happens. It's just not supportive of the Constitution. Well, listen, we're going to talk about more politics when we get back from the commercial break, including Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Beto, and Ilhan Omar, as well as my conservative reflection. So stay tuned.